Hello, and thanks for tuning in to our matchup tonight. We have Prodigal GG versus Revenants Red on Clubhouse. We are going to see Revenants start off on defense, and they're going to start us off on the ban phase as well. We've seen Revenants on Clubhouse before, and they've actually played it pretty well, so that does give Prodigal GG a good bit to work with, though. If they did review any VODs or anything like that, they see a Thatcher get taken off the board first here. That is just going to make it a bit harder for Prodigal GG to get any hatches and or walls open on some of these sites, and for a lot of these site executes, those can be very, very pivotal. So nothing surprising though. Quite common to see Thatcher get banned on this map, as well as Jackal. He can restrict the roamers quite a bit, and that'll give them a good bit of freedom as they're roaming the map, at least to stay unidentified for as long as possible. Second ban for Prodigal GG on defense here. And we're going to see Kaid. Could be a response to the Thatcher ban there, as that's going to probably make it a bit easier for them to take the Church Arsenal site. Won't be able to deny any of those hatches with said Kaid Electro Claws, so Thatcher being off the board, it won't be an issue there at least. And for the final ban from Revenants, we are going to see Mira. So, nothing too out of the ordinary for the ban phase here. Mira plays a pretty huge part in how a lot of these sites can be set up, so she'll be taken off the board. Did like to see the Kaid get banned there, though, as that could have been maybe planned prior, but nonetheless it could be a response from the Thatcher ban as well. So we see them head on into Church Arsenal first here. Isn't uncommon, though we do see a lot of teams prefer to head up into CC cache early in the rotation. We're going to see the double hard breach from the attackers here. Actually, we're going to see 3. So they will not be short of any breachers to get those walls open. Oh, we're actually going to see Hibana pick off. That makes a lot more sense here, as they should be fine with just the Thermite and the Maverick. And we're going to see the Valkyrie switch off onto Jaeger. They do have the Maestro there, so they are still covered when it comes to utility, at least for intel. And they will have the Mozzie as well, which is going to make it a lot harder for the attacking team to drone out. Though he will have to stay alive later on in the round for that to be the most use possible for his team. So nothing too out of the ordinary just yet coming from Revenants on the Church Arsenal hold, as this has a pretty standard meta. They will reinforce pole spot there, open up a few angles looking into main entrance.
10 seconds remaining.
ADS gets placed in blue for anybody playing behind electrical there. This will probably open up a rotation into blue as well, so they have some ability to make their way through Church into blue if need be. I see the attackers spawn pretty heavy over in shipping. Looks like they're probably going to be setting up for a strip take. Yeah, they are quite heavily committed to this strip take, and they're going to send some drones in right away. More than likely have an attacker following closely behind, and it's going to be Celtic. He follows his drones in, and they take control over main bar pretty quickly here, as we're only 30 seconds into the round and he's in bathroom. He's got to know that they have somebody positioned within main bar, though. Got the Jaeger. Now that that call comes out, we're going to see the attackers come down the main stair, and that was a really nice play by the Capital to rotate back down, as the Jaeger was more expecting the push coming from strip area. He's just going to peek down main stairs and find the kills. He's looking the completely wrong way, and that's going to give them top 4 control really early on in this round, as I don't believe they have anybody else playing upstairs. They will start to open up these hatches more than likely, as Thermite is the last in the building, making sure his team clears the way first, so as they are not wanting to lose any hard breachers early on. That could be quite tragic for the execute later. Alright, Ela has been droned out on Secret now. Still gonna play a pretty aggressive position. Prone on this stair with Ela's shotgun. That is an extremely strong position if the attackers approach it in the wrong manner. But if the intel is there and they allocate the right resources, that could be an easy pick for them. But we're going to see Tycho just peek on up the stairs as the attackers clearly were not expecting that. That was an extremely aggressive rotate from the Mozzie there, and I don't think that he's expecting the attackers to push down right away, but he's going to cross the C4 up, just narrowly missing the attacker on top of the stairs there. Alright, with the Nomad playing at the bottom of the main stairs, they're going to open up Moto Hatch. They are likely looking to get a presence in there sooner rather than later, as we're at 45 seconds now, which is plenty of time for them to set up for a site take. But with 4v4, the defenders got to be feeling pretty comfortable, as this is one of those sites where they can sit nicely tucked into sight pretty comfortably. But that's going to be another pick for the defending team there, as we're looking at 4v3. They open up Church Wall using the Thermite there. There's a player playing just on the left side of the open wall here, and that's going to be a kill from the Mozzie. He's going to swing peek out and grab 2. That's a triple kill in the round for him. They are aware of the player's position on main stair. Mozzie's going to look to grab the final kill, but Henry's actually going to go ahead and nab that one from him. Not getting the 4K today, but still an extremely big round for the Mozzie there. Really well played by the defense overall. Prodigal GG did have a nice roam clear though, and they were able to get into the first floor and start getting use out of their utility pretty quickly. So definitely a good start to the attack for Prodigal there, but they just slowly stalled out as we made our way into the final moments of the round. They were able to get Church open, but when it came to the gunfights, Revenants were just able to win, especially with those 2 from Mozzie as he swung on into Moto. That pretty much sealed the fate of that round for Prodigal. Alright, we're actually going to see Zofia switch on to Hibana. So it seems they are opting for Hibana and Maverick on the CC site.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Which is rather interesting. Normally you'd think you'd bring Hibana for the hatches, and maybe a Thermite for the walls leading into server and or from construction. Hibana is pretty limited. Once she does open up those holes, they are nowhere near. They just don't open up the same line of sight that Thermite can do. So they will have to be careful of how they allocate their resources on this round.
10 seconds remaining.
Alright, so
5 seconds
we
left.
see them opening up some angles on the top of server wall there.
Attackers objective.
More than likely giving them the ability to toss maybe some C4s out, as they will have 2 C4s from Pulse and Mozzie. We'll give them plenty of plant denial from below and or from Cash if they need it. Gonna have a player very tightly tucked on the garage door here. Very aggressive. We have seen Revenants get pretty aggressive on Clubhouse before. And that's going to be great. She's already prepping the door here for a run out. He had to have heard the Claymore go down earlier on in the round. That's Hibana actually taking a good bit of damage from the run out from Strip. Going to put her at just about half health, as well as the IQ, but the Jaeger is down at this point, so they will get to work with the hard destruction as Maverick looks to soften up this wall for his team. So they do have the Buck. I imagine the goal is to soften that wall and open it up with the skeleton key. But they do have Buck actually playing within logistics, so be quite the rotate for him to make it out of there now. They will have to find another way to get that wall open once it gets softened up by the Maverick, and that's going to be 2 kills for the attacking team as Kratos is able to find one on the first floor. And that'll be the Mozzie off the board for the defenders, and his utility will pretty much be useless for the rest of the round, as it will be able to deny any drones if the pests still are out, but once they are under the defenders' control, that'll just be a drone off the board for the attackers. They won't be able to do too much with it. Maverick looking for any angles, peeking on the bottom side of the server wall, looking in the garage. Player in garage is going to go ahead and drop it down though. They are positioning themselves within construction now, at least 2 players. They look to put a bit of pressure on both sides. We still have the IQ playing on the first floor, but that's actually going to be Grinch finding a kill onto the Maverick, but they do trade one back, and Exist finds one onto Henry. That's going to be the Legion off the board, though he's probably got a few of those goo mines out already, so utility could be of use for them later on in this round. 45 seconds left, 4v2 for Prodigal. They're in a pretty good position to take this round. They just need to get a little bit of intel on the position of the last two defender players here, and this should go their way as Celtic's able to find one. I believe that's going to be the first one for him on this round, but Vigil is going to swing on into Cash and actually find 2 kills, but we are going to see Capital bring it back in line for the attackers here, and that's going to be a round win on Cash CC for Prodigal GG. Really nice job on their end there, as they weren't even able to get the wall open entirely, but they still found the angles that they needed and were able to win the gunfights and eventually take that round. It is extremely rare to see the attacking team take a victory there if they're unable to find the success with the hard breach. But like I said, really good job on the adjustment there, getting a bit of pressure into construction as well as server wall. Even though there wasn't much of an angle, there still was a presence from Maverick, which probably had them weary as they made rotations. Wisely switches off the Tachanka pick there onto Mozzie, which I imagine we all expected that to be switched there. Tachanka doesn't typically bring the best utility for the defense. I'm gonna see them head back to Cash CC. Hopefully they have made some minor adjustments. The attackers didn't even open up the wall and found a victory there. The attackers did a good job once again getting in early and getting a presence in on the first floor. The IQ, she probably was able to do a bit of work on the gadgets within Cash and server as well.
5 seconds left before insertion.
So Prodigal definitely setting a good pace at the earlier stages of the round. But they do seem to stall out just a tad midway. On the last round they definitely made the proper adjustments and rotated to a different push and found a victory there, so we'll see if they're able to keep that up. I'm going to see something interesting as they head in, or send the Zofia in through dirt. He looks to catch the defense off guard, and she's going to do so. That's going to be an easy kill on the Grinch. What a big kill from Zofia, and that's only 30 seconds in, and Grinch is off the board. Jaeger is gone, though his ADSs are out, so they still will be of some use for his team later on. They have control over Secret already. The rest of his team is probably going to look to start getting some use out of their utility. His Maverick's already hard at work on this server wall, looking to find a bit more success than he did in the last round. Will they have the Buck there ready to help him soften that up, or is he going to head into logistics again? Okay, nice job from the Maverick. He's able to do that pretty quickly as we're only about a minute 50 left now. But we see the Zofia hop out, and she's going to impact this wall and open it up. But Breeze is able to find a kill onto Kratos. That's going to be IQ off the board, using the P10 a very deadly gun when in the right hands. He's going to play tight within Cash, though. Not going to get too aggressive there. Buck gets an engagement looking through logistics doorway as he looks to grab control over the west side of this second floor here. Ella's playing with the end master bedroom. They are aware of that. Drones do come out. I see Habana in logistics as well. It looks like they're trying to set up for the construction take here again. But Breeze is going to find a kill onto the Buck. So just like that, they lose a bit of logistics control, and Habana's left alone here to finish up this take on the master bedroom side of this floor. They're going to have to worry about the player below, and Ella's just going to peek out, find the kill onto Exist and onto Ori. 2 big kills for Tycho, and Henry's going to find the last one to finish out the round for Revenants. So, huge play from the Ella there to finish up that round for Revenants as Legion swings on over to Stock and finds that last player looking through Stock door, probably for some vertical angles, looking up into Cash. And they're going to head back down into Church Arsenal. So they were able to make the proper adjustments to find a victory on Cash and CC. And they've already taken their first round down at Church Arsenal, so this is a pretty nice rotation here for them as they look to make it 3-1. And as defenders, you definitely want to at least take this to a 4-2, as Clubhouse is typically defender-sided, especially with a Thatcher ban. Hibana switches off on a Zofia, leaving Thermite and Maverick. It's very typical. Looks like they know they're going Church.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Alright, so a much better job from the roamers from Revenants on that last round, as Prodigal GG had been making their way into the building pretty quickly and clearing out some of that roam game. So just them staying alive a little bit longer, being a bit of a thorn in the side for Prodigal as they made their way in about the halfway point of that round, really was kind of the game changer. As Prodigal was never actually able to find their way in to actually coordinate and execute. So yeah, the roam game playing a very, very big part in how that last round went. Mozzie is going to rotate back downstairs. Looks like we have Henry playing a pretty aggressive angle with Endurance. Looks like he might be expecting them to push that rather quickly. The last time the attackers were here, they did dedicate most of their resources to opening up a hatch and church wall. I have a player right underneath secret window here. Interesting to see if Prodigal is aware of their position. They're going to throw a drone out, try to grab some intel. But they've got a pest on that window to deny them from that intel. So even with that, droning yourself in is only going to do you so much good, as 5 seconds later that call is not going to be worth anything anymore. And that's probably when you're going to be looking to actually make your push. Kratos is going to start moving into stock. And there's a run out coming out of main entrance here, but Kratos is going to be ready to take that Vigil out. So Vigil essentially throwing his life away there, not really finding any damage onto the players of Master Balcony. That's going to even us up at 4v4. It's an interesting run out as they've been pushing stock pretty much every round prior, so kind of weird that the Vigil did not expect a presence there. Buck is going to start making his way up into Garage. Looks like they are worried about that roaming presence, as it was a pain for them in the later parts of that last round, so it makes sense that they want to make sure they've actually cleared this building out, and there's a lot of rooms to clear on Clubhouse. So let's see if they're aware of the Ela playing with Ends Secret, and yes, Ori's going to find the kill onto the Ela, which is going to put them in a 4v3 and give them secret control and probably give them a little bit of pressure looking into blue. As we see Thermite playing this vertically, probably saving his utilities. He's aware that they will be looking to impact trick that. You see the holes opened up on the side of the drop down there. Those will always be opened up for the defenders to try and impact the exothermic and deny the attackers from opening up that drop down for as long as possible. We're going to see IQ just holding an angle onto electrical here, checking to see if any defenders might get a little too antsy and peek an angle that they shouldn't. Just narrowly not seeing the player on the other side of that wall there. A few bullet holes could have exposed him. Luckily getting away with his life. Nick's going to find a kill onto the Thermite though.
10 seconds to go.
Buck looks down main hall here. The attackers are going to have to make their way into sight, but Mozzie's going to stop that. Finds a kill onto the player with the main stairs, and that's going to be Henry and Mix finding the last two, which is going to give them a win on the Church Arsenal defense and puts Revenants up at 3-1. So this is kind of what you expect to see. As I said, this is a defender-sided map, and with those two sites, Cache GC and Church Arsenal, probably being the most popular or favorite site picks, you're going to expect to see Revenants take those victories on defense. But with that being said, Prodigal GG are going to need to take at least 1 or 2 more rounds on this half if they want to head into the side switch comfortably. Because even getting just a 4-2 for the attackers really does put them in a pretty good position, at least mentally. That is not too tall an order.
Locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
We'll see a pretty interesting pick. We're gonna get the Bedroom Gym Master site. Of course, it's going to involve the castle and a bandit. This bandit's going to look to trick that hot tub balcony, and they're gonna have the aid of those castle barricades on gym door and window to prevent the attackers from peeking him while he does so. Probably get an assistance of an ADS somewhere in that area along those lines.
Window secure.
Tossing it.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, the Maestro for intel, and they're gonna have Ella probably playing a pretty heavy run with the Jaeger once again.
Attackers objective.
She's gonna need to find some of that success she found on Cash CC for her team if she looks to keep this swinging in their favor. We will see them head up to hot tub balcony pretty quickly with the Maverick, as they are looking to get that wall open as quickly as possible. As opening up that line of sight into the hallway there really restricts the defense on the rotations that they can make once you go for a site execute.
Deploying razor wire.
They do have the proper operators to deal with the castle barricades on gym, window, and door as well. We're going to see Celtic actually move on into construction right away. Gets aggressive and peeks onto Maestro, finds the kill. That is a huge pick for the Zofia. It's going to put
Attackers have located
the team up at a 5v4 with just a minute left in the round, but Habana's actually going to go down from the Jaeger on first floor. Big pick for Mix there. Already giving that run game a bit more efficiency. Maverick begins working on the hot tub balcony. Has successfully reached the bottom half. Now we'll just need to get the top part of this wall here, and he's going to do so successfully. Hot tub balcony is now soft, and that's going to restrict the play of the defenders a lot here. Zofia gets an engagement within server with the Jaeger, but it's going to get pinched. Really nice play there from Tycho to come in and support the Jaeger there, finding a pick onto Zofia, which is going to put them up 4v3 with just about a minute and a half left to go. I'm gonna peek out onto Master Balcony and actually find the kill. Maybe a bit of RNG involved in that one, but nonetheless, that is a pick for Tycho. And this is looking very defender-sided now. But we're going to see Sledge find a pick there through the opened up wall. As I said, that does really restrict the defenders there. Maybe they just were unaware that it had been opened up yet, and they're going to peek it again. That's 2 kills for the Sledge now. This is an even game for some reason.
Bomb has been located.
No need to peek that from the defense, but we're sitting at a 2v2 now because of it. Ori and Sledge are going to, or Nubin are going to look to set up for site execute now. They open up the gym door. There's going to be plenty of ankle height holes open up for the defense, though, as they're looking for any attackers who make their way into that room, and will probably be dropped as soon as it happens. Ella getting rather aggressive, pushing in the gym, and she's actually going to find the kill onto the Maverick. That's going to put us at a 1v1 as Nubin's able to find a kill as well, but that will seal this round, as I believe that's a 4K for Tycho as he finds the last pick looking in the bathroom. Really nice job there from the defenders, so they got maybe a bit more aggressive than they needed to. They're going to find the victory on that site regardless. That's going to put them at 4-1 as we head into the final round of this half. So a nice job on the last 2 defenders there to seal it out for their round, as they nearly threw that one away as 2 defenders just peeked on into that hallway after the wall had been opened up. But they were able to find the victory anyways. Nice try from Prodigal GG though, as they were very nearly able to piece that round back together for the attacking team. So for the last round of this half,
Defenders protect
we're going to
your
see the
bombs
defenders
from
head
being
into
defused by
Catch and
attackers.
CC, which is not a surprise. It's a really strong site to end out the half on, actually. And they're probably looking to put themselves up at 5-1. Prodigal GG has been playing pretty well on attack, I would say, just in the final moments. Revenant's making the plays that are needed to seal up the rounds for the defense. But The opening portions of these attacking rounds are actually really efficient for Prodigal, for the most part. They find their way into the building, grabbing a bit of map control almost
10
instantly
seconds remaining.
on most of these attacking rounds. So definitely nice to see that. Solid drone work.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
They're playing pretty aggressive here on first floor. Stop the attackers from making their advance, as they have been pushing stock rather frequently on this site hold. Elo look to stop them from grabbing hold of that for as long as possible, as Newbin finding a pick onto Grinch, and that's going to put the Vigil off the board. Pretty substantial amount of fragging power taken out for the defenders early on in this round. As I said, that's 30 seconds in. We've seen this happen for the attackers quite a few times, actually. So we have seen Revenants fire back on a few of those picks as well. Once again, really efficient drone work coming out here from Prodigal GG as they quickly take control of the map. Just a minute in here, they're going to find their way into construction and logistics. It looks like they prep themselves for the site execute. Sophia is heading in through master bedroom. She made her way up master stairs. She's going to be able to use that lifeline to get rid of some of this bard, possibly, or maybe any utility such as Evil Eyes, as she spots one now on top of red stair. But Maestro is going to just peek on through construction door, and that'll be his head. Celtic finds it, and that's a pick for the Zofia, and he's going to take out the barbed wire and probably... Oh, just going to send a concussion onto red stair. Honestly surprised not to see her get rid of that Evil Eye, as it can just give so much crucial information for the defenders later on in the round. They are looking pretty solid, though, at a 5v3 here. The plant are now off the board from Maestro as well, so... Few trap operators and Jaeger left. Those trap operators will provide a good bit of intel for the defense, though, as the attackers make their way in. Any Grismont mines or goo mines will give away the position of the attackers. That's Exist with the pick onto Tycho. It's going to be Ella off the board, and he's going to find a refrag there onto Henry, as Henry picks off Celtic. Really nice play there from Hibana, making sure she was within arm's reach to frag out or find the pick for the teammate on the trade there. But she's going to get really aggressive, move on into the server, and get picked off by Jaeger. But this is an extremely tall order, but he finds his second kill. It's a double kill for him. This is looking almost doable for him at this point. He's going to have to make a miraculous play, though. 30 seconds left. The attackers are going to have to get onto site. Try to safely get this plan off. Jaeger is going to hear it, sends a pre-fire through the wall and just narrowly misses it. That's the secondary attacker heading up, and he's going to get the pick onto the planner. He's going to find two. A quad kill coming out for Mix, and an impeccable play on his end to get that round to the defense as they go up 5-1 on the half. Really, really well played from the Jaeger there. So he found a beautiful shot to the player on the window of server after picking off Hibana for getting a bit too aggressive. They're finding the frag onto Henry, and then just winning the 1v2. As the attackers did not have the proper coverage for the planter there. Jaeger just outplayed them in that specific scenario, so well done. Now it is time to see what Prodigal GG is going to bring on the side of defense, as a lot of those rounds were very, very close for them. But this is a very tall mountain to climb as they sit at 5-1. Even on a defender-sided map, that is a lot to ask of a team. But we've seen crazier things happen in Siege,
Attackers need to locate
and this is still
defuse
very,
bombs.
very winnable for Prodigal. Bit slow on our site setup here. See Jaeger heading down in the garage. Reinforce those walls to stop them from opening up any angles looking onto the players on top of a garage balcony. That can be pretty advantageous for the attackers once they start working on that door and both of the garage walls. I'm going to see a smoke on the side of Prodigal. Just something we did not see from Revenants. Smoke can be very useful for just any plant denial or just area denial, especially in the later parts of the round.
And defuse a bomb.
So we're only going to see one hard breach coming out from Revenants. So they're going to have to be very efficient with that, though we did see some pretty good success
Yes, up and running.
from Prodigal on the Maverick. We'll see if he can match it. Seems that more and more Maverick players are getting a hold of how to get that wall open quickly, as it definitely saw about a 50-50 success rate in its earlier days. We're seeing a lot more success out of these players, but he's getting very aggressive, or very risky, I'd rather say, on the lower part of that wall there, as he just kind of stood out on the angle. They did have somebody on rappel to kind of counter that, but nonetheless, lucky to get away without taking any damage, or without being spotted by the defense.
Located by attackers.
Seems he's just missed a sliver of the wall here, and that's going to hold them back from getting the last bit of this softened up. Oh, looks like the Jaeger's going to have a very narrow angle onto the Mav on rappel, but he's not able to finish the kill. We just take about half the health off of him. But if Maverick's not careful, he could very easily be finished off with the Jaeger here. He's going to have to wisely back off that angle. Maybe reassess how they're going to push this site. They have two players within construction. Celtic also probably looking towards master bedroom if need be. They're just going to drop hatch and stand still. Interesting. Maybe just looking to bait, but lucky nobody decided to swing out on into that. I guess looking to deny some drone economy there, but going to give away his position, though the attackers were probably already aware of it. Just unfortunate timing, as he looks away right when Maverick peeks, and that's going to be an easy kill for Maverick, and Smoke's going to go down. Or I'm sorry, Smoke is actually just sitting at 1 health. Anything's going to put him out of this match. The attackers have a strong control within construction, but the defenders are playing it pretty safe within garage still, as they have a player making their way up garage stair, and that's actually going to be Grinch on the Zofia. Gonna find an easy pick onto the Legion. He's looking the wrong way, and that's red stair control for the attackers. There goes the Smoke, because he was already sitting at 1 health. He's gonna fall. That's Henry with 2 kills of his own. Jaeger's gonna find one looking through server, but immediately gets traded back out by Grinch. As once Zofia made her way up the stairs, it just seemed to fall apart for Prodigal, as a Maverick found his way into construction and grabbed 2 easy picks. So that is going to make things all the harder for Prodigal GG, as we now sit at 6-1, though they are on the defender side, so they have plenty of chances to piece this back together, but Revenants are looking very good at this point. They were unable to get the wall open there, though they did have a few more angles opened up comparatively to some of the times Maverick was unable to on the first half. They were unable to get the wall open, and they transitioned a lot of their resources over into construction, especially just Zofia finding her way up the cache stairs and grabbing that pick on the Legion just gave them the control that they needed at that point to collapse on cache.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
They bring it back to cache CC. They're going to bring an Echo this time. He will be the intel op and also have a good bit of plant denial for Prodigal. Definitely be looking to put those yokai drones to use. We see them reinforce garage wall, open up and rotate into cache there. Pretty standard setup coming from the defenses. We do see some pretty nice shield placements, sitting on that cache doorway and looking out onto the wall for when it does get opened up, or if it does get opened up, as they do have bandit tricking, so if they have any luck there,
Attackers must locate and defuse
they'll be able to keep that closed for the most part, as Maverick will be looking to soften it up once again. They will bring a thermite on the side of the attack this time, which I'd say is needed, as they were pretty much shut out from the hard breach utility last time after Jaeger sent a few rounds onto Maverick. That's going to be a huge kill for Echo, as he finds an opening pick for Prodigal. In the early parts of this round, they've had some pretty good luck with the early picks here. Like I said, 30 seconds in, we've seen both these teams find a few kills. He plays a pretty tight angle looking onto the roof, and I don't think they're going to spot him. He is able to do a good bit of damage on the Mix. That's the Ash sitting at just above 25 health now. And he's going to pre-fire into construction and almost find the kill onto the Echo as well. So they've traded about equal health at this point. The Echo's definitely going to want to make his way back to site and remain useful for the rest of this round, because Once he's gone, those yokai drones lose their primary purpose of denying the plant. Looks like Jaeger's actually able to find the kill again. Really nice angle, and the attackers just weren't able to spot it out the last round. Seems that it wasn't communicated where he was finding that shot from, and he's going to find success to the fullest extent on this round as he puts the Maverick down, and they're gonna have to find some other way to get this site opened up with the thermite. We are looking at a 5v3 here. It's gonna be a pretty hard transition for them to make. You see Lion playing a pretty tight angle on the rappel here. They did get one of the bandit charges off though, so they are able to open up this server wall here. A pretty good chunk of it, as his utility does a good job at opening up a huge line of sight for the attackers. But there's going to be another pick for the defenders, and they're going to be looking at a 5v3 at this point. This is looking pretty much impossible, but they were able to get some hard breach utility out there. It is a bit too late as the defenders are able to take up a 5v3 lead in the process, or a 5v2 lead in the process, sorry. They will be heard on the roof by the defenders, and they're just going to wait for them to drop down and make the inevitable push into sight, unless the attackers are just going to use this as a timeout, which wouldn't be a bad idea. It looks like that's what they're going to do. And just talk things over, as they're going to have to make an adjustment for the way they're pushing that. But this will put Prodigal GG at 6-2, make this all the more doable for them. There's still a lot to ask. And they will have to move on to probably Church Arsenal after this, if I were to take a guess. That is one of the stronger sites in rotation. Lion's just going to try and drop and grab a few kills with the revolver, but he's unsuccessful, and Jaeger's going to put him down for trying. Going to do a bit of stat padding for him. Mozzie runs out and tries to find a kill onto the last player in the roof. Just a bit of a fun exchange there from the teams, as the attackers knew that their fate was already sealed. So once again, the defenders were able to stall out the hard breach there, which really made it favorable for them at the halfway point of that round, and then also just finding the necessary picks to put their team up. And by the time the thermite was eventually able to open up that wall, it was just too late for them. And there was just too many players up on the defense side for Prodigal, so we're going to see that go the way of the defense as they head down into Church Arsenal. Switch off onto the thermite, which is pretty well. Actually, you know, with 3 hard breach, that isn't too expected. But with that being said, they should have no problem making sure that they actually get these walls opened up and or hatches. You would hate to see them be unsuccessful with that level of utility dedicated to it. The Prodigal GG can do down on the Church Arsenal site, as this is one of the strongest ones on the map, or at least is favored most of the time, as most of the defensive team can play tightly tucked onto this site with very little roam game invested up top, if they so choose. This is one of those sites where you can have almost the entire defensive team holding an angle properly and not feel overcrowded. Alright, so let's see if Revenants are going to be able to match the pace that Prodigal GG was on the First Force control here, as they will have Legion roaming. Once again, it is always a risky decision. We're actually going to see them head in extremely fast, as Lion is already making his way on into main stairs. He's just going to bypass the Legion. I don't even know if they're aware of his position, but he's down main stairs. Legion's got to know at this point, but he's pretty exposed on that motor angle, but nobody's going to peek it, thankfully. Seems as the engagements are coming out from Legion, as he noticed that they are rushing. He's going to put a little pressure onto them, playing from main stair. He's going to sit tight within bar. But that's going to be Henry finding a kill, and a team kill coming out from Grinch, but Henry's going to find another. So the defense unable to even that out, but that's going to be the Jaeger. Kratos finding a pick of his own on a Henry. He's going to shut down the Maverick, which he has been pretty impactful at this point, so that's going to be a big kill, but that's 2 for Jaeger. He finds Breeze, and this is looking extremely doable for the defenders now. So they have 1 player or 2 players playing within Arsenal now. That's going to be Grinch with 2 kills though, and that leaves the Legion in a 1v2 clutch on match point And this is getting extremely undoable, but he does find one kill, but gets hit by the Claymore, and that's going to be the game. GG. Nice tries from Prodigal, GG, but heading into the half of the 5-1 just proved too difficult as they made their way into the final portion of this matchup. A lot of those rounds were played extremely close by Prodigal, and maybe even a few of those definitely should have gone their way. Just a few small mistakes separating them from the victory on a part or a portion of those rounds. So good game. Definitely an enjoyable matchup to watch, but Revenants prove an extremely formidable opponent on Clubhouse this far. They seem to just play lights out on that map. Well, that is all for tonight's matchups. We thank you for tuning in, and make sure to catch us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for another matchup. Thanks for tuning in and have a wonderful night.